the question, I guess, is what stricter gun laws have even mattered in this particular case? Joining me now, Katie Phang and Jan Morgan. Katie, you're down in Florida. I want to talk to you about this because from what I read, the concealed carry allows most people to wear firearms in most places, but guns are barred from schools, college campuses, courthouses, government buildings, and establishments that serve alcohol as their main purpose. Where does that put Pulse nightclub, and what do you think happened there?
Well, you hit the nail on the head, Charles. The very last area is the establishment that serves alcohol primarily, which is clearly Pulse nightclub. So all of the club goers, they couldn't bring a gun into the nightclub to defend themselves. But really the question is, how much stricter are Florida gun laws going to be if you can be on a terror watch list and still walk into the St. Lucie shooting center as Omar Mateen did and buy an assault rifle a week before he gunned down all of these helpless victims? The reality is the background checks are clearly inadequate if you're considering the fact that the FBI has interviewed Mateen or interviewed him twice, and he was still able to get these guns.
Jan Morgan, I know this is a topic you're extremely passionate about. A lot of calls out there, a lot of people blaming guns and blaming advocate of guns like yourself.
Yes, but first of all, I would like to correct Katie. I agree with her on most aspects of what she said, except the part about the AR-15 being an assault rifle. I'm really tired of listening to people from the President of the United States to Hillary Clinton today and then other national news media people calling the AR an assault rifle. That is not an assault rifle. Assault is an action, not an object. So let's clarify that. And I sent you a picture, Charles, of my AR-15. Millions of Americans own them. The AR-15 is not any more dangerous than my 12-gauge shotgun. If you take a look at those pictures, the Kel-Tec KSG shotgun, I could have walked into that facility and done a lot more damage with that 12-gauge than I could an AR-15. An assault weapon, according to the Department of Defense, is a fully automatic battlefield rifle. Okay? What that shooter used was not fully automatic. He had to pull the trigger every time he fired a shot, not hold down the trigger and a barrage of shots fired out. So I just wanted to clarify that so that the average citizen understands.
Well, Jan, let me ask you this then, because opponents of these types of weapons say that they're extraordinarily powerful. In other words, that the kind of power, the punch that they provide, why would the average citizen need that to even protect themselves? That's the argument from the left.
Oh, goodness, Charles. You know, the last time I checked, it was still the Bill of Rights, not the Bill of Needs. But with Barack Obama and his pen and phone, that could have changed since I last checked. It's not a matter of need. In America, with the Second Amendment, we have the right to keep and bear arms, and that includes all firearms. If you want a fully automatic weapon, though, you have to get a Class 3 license. That is a highly restrictive, extensive background check. By the time the government issues you a Class 3, they know every hair on your head. Not that many citizens in America have fully automatic firearms. But, Charles, the bottom line is, bad guys who want to kill, they're going to be able to get what they want, irregardless of the laws. So we really shouldn't even be talking about gun control. More laws. Paris, France, perfect example. More laws will not stop bad guys from getting
I understand
guns.
where you're coming from. And, Katie, on that note, what about the notion of making guns easier for everyone to get? So if people in that club were able to protect themselves, it's highly doubtful we'd have 49 dead people today.
That's right.
You know, I'm not one to subscribe to hypotheticals. I mean, at this point, could it have been better for them? I don't know. I mean, you have gun-free zones for a reason, but the reality is I operate within the parameters of the law. There currently is a Second Amendment, so to the extent I cannot disagree with Jan Morgan, there is a Second Amendment, but there seems to be a disconnect between what the federal government does and what the states are doing. If the federal government has agencies like the FBI that are conducting investigations of this ilk, and then they don't actually convey that information to the state, local authorities. People like Omar Mateen, he had a Class D security license as well. He was an armed security guard for G4S. It's not like he was just a civilian on the street, armed himself with an AR-15. I mean, and with respect to Jan Morgan, he used it to assault people. He used it to kill people. So I understand that maybe the misnomer's wrong to convey to the public, but that was a weapon used to kill. And as a security guard, look, you could have a controlled substance problem in Florida and still be an armed security guard. You could be a fugitive from justice, or maybe not a fugitive from justice, and not get a concealed weapons permit. There has to be change.
We have to leave it there, although, Katie, to a large extent, you probably laid out the best case or best rationale why the public should be armed if so many other people are armed as well. But let's leave it there. Thank you guys both very much. Appreciate it.